You did what? Hello, welcome back to Heart Chats. So today, I want to talk about a topic that has been wreaking havoc in so many people's lives, and that is an undisciplined mind. But before we get into that, hi, my name is Ariel. Welcome to Heart Chats, where my desire is to help others learn how to help themselves. So let's get into the topic today. So first off, let me ask you, have you ever gone to like a restaurant or a store and you see like a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 10-year-old child just acting so unruly? I mean, he's running around, or she's throwing her food, or he's screaming at his mom, or she's throwing a tantrum, and nothing will get her to calm down. Nothing will get him to sit down. If you've seen that, like me, your heart goes out to the mom. You can only imagine what she's going through, trying to get her child to calm down, the embarrassment she may be feeling overwhelmed, feeling out of control. You may want to go over there and help that child, maybe talk to the child, reason with the child. Or if you're like me from the South, reasoning is reaching out and touching somebody. When they reason in the South, you just might lose a tooth, but you know what? I'm not going there. We digress. But seriously, you want to help that child, you want to help that mom, because you see that there is something wrong, because there is a lack of discipline. We see the issue and we want to do something about it. So let me ask you, why do we accept unruly minds? Why do we allow our minds to just wreak havoc in our heads, screaming at us, throwing things at us, telling us how we should think? We just allow our minds to control us, and more than that, we reward our minds. Yep, we sure do. If our minds throw negative thoughts at us, instead of us taking those thoughts captive and making it obedient to Christ, if you are a believer, I'm a believer, so my perspective is based on Christ. We need to take captive our thoughts. What we do is, instead of disciplining our minds, we reward it. We give it candy, literally sometimes. Or we give it whatever it wants. Say, it doesn't want to work out, so you know what? We don't work out. It doesn't want to be disciplined in study, so you know what? We don't study. It doesn't want to hold its tongue and tell someone off, so you know what? We do it. We're just as unruly as those children that we've seen, but it doesn't have to be that way. When we listen to our minds and we reward it when it throws a tantrum, we are reinforcing that behavior. We can't do that anymore. We have to make the decision to take back control and discipline our minds. So often we get stuck in a depressed state, wondering why we feel so sad, why we feel so defeated, why we feel so horrible. If we feed our mind positivity, it will produce positivity. The way that some of us talk to ourselves is downright cruel. We belittle ourselves. We don't need anyone to tell us anything negative. We tell ourselves negativity 24/7. You'll never become this. You can't do this. You'll never achieve this. And it's painful. If we heard someone else being told what we listen to day in and day out, how would we feel for that person? We would feel compassion for them. Our hearts would go out to them. So we need to have the same for ourselves. But this mindset doesn't come from anywhere. It's a learned behavior. For many of us, we grew up either specifically being spoken to or hearing someone that we love be criticized, put down, and just felt like trash. We learn to talk to ourselves that way. We adapt. We take on the mindset of the people that we were pained by. Like it or not, we are the product of our environments, and we can't get around that. Or maybe you're a type of person who believes that being harsh on yourself will protect you from disappointment in the future. Being a perfectionist. Sometimes we have to have everything so perfect because we fear the outcome. We fear being no longer in control. It's one of the most scariest things, not being in control. Or maybe we come from a very controlling environment, and it has made us just not want to have control anymore. We just want to let go. For me, I was in a highly controlling religious environment for over 13 years, and I'll talk about that soon. But this topic is near and dear to my heart. I've really fought to take captive my thoughts because my mind was my worst enemy. I didn't need anyone to say anything negative to me. I spoke negativity to myself. I gave room to my mind to talk negative to me. I'll never achieve. I'll be left alone. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. But I chose to stop believing the lies. Have you? But here's the good news. You can overcome. One of my favorite scriptures is Proverbs 23:7, where it says, "As a man thinks within his heart, so he is," or woman. Whatever you think about, that's what will manifest. We can't keep blaming others for who we are today. We can't keep blaming our upbringing and what other people have done to us for who we've become today. At some point, we gotta take responsibility. Yes, what they did was wrong. It was painful. It hurt. It's unfair. But what are you gonna do? So how do we break this cycle of self-sabotage? First, we have to stop blaming others and take responsibility for the life that we have. Yes, many of us have gone through really painful pasts, and it hurts, and it's okay to feel that pain. Like, I feel pain now just thinking about things from my past. But we can't allow our past to continue to dictate our futures. The people that hurt us have their own life experiences that they've not dealt with, and that's why they treated us the way they did. So do we want to become them? No, we want to change. So you got to take responsibility for who you are. If you've become a mean person because of the things that life has thrown at you, take responsibility for that and change. If you become a procrastinator, someone who is unloving, someone who's distrusting, someone who is fearful, whatever it is, take responsibility for it. Recognize that, yes, you've been hurt, and have compassion for the people that have hurt you, because they also need to change and do the same thing. But seriously, we gotta take responsibility. And one of the ways that we take responsibility is making the decision to not react, but respond, right? If someone says or does something that makes you angry, don't just, or fly off. Like, if someone did something to make you angry, you need to ask yourself, why am I angry? Is it because it's something that's out of my control? Like, I want to control the person? If so, you don't have the right to be angry, because we can't control anyone. We're not robots, and we're not slaves. So if someone does something that makes you angry, you need to figure out, why did it make you angry? Did it trigger something in you? Did it remind you of something that happened or something someone did? That means you need to work through that situation, not work on the person in front of you. So we cannot react. We need to respond, think it through, and accept the things that we can not change, and change the things that we can. But we got to give people room to grow. And we got to recognize when someone's trauma is impacting us, we need to recognize that and make the decision to be more mature and not react, but respond. The second thing is we need to do the work. You know, all of the painful experiences that we've had in our past is impacting us still today. And we got to do the work to work through it, whether it be going to therapy, doing self-therapy. I mean, YouTube has everything. I'm pretty sure that there are courses on therapy, you know, to help us to grow and deal with our past. But nonetheless, you got to work through those pains. We can't ignore them. We can't push them away. We can't push them aside. We got to work through it, meaning we got to feel the pain. We got to acknowledge the lies that we've told ourselves because of our past, and we got to make the decision to remove it. Remove it from our mind. What does that mean? When the thoughts come, don't entertain it. If a thought comes, oh, you're nothing, ask yourself, where did that come from? Did someone tell me this before? Did I see this in someone else's life and then I adopted that mindset? Where did that come from? And then ask yourself, do you want that to be your truth? And if the answer is no, reject the thought. That's not me. I reject it. And then third, choose joy, no matter the situation. Whether the situation brings you pain or pleasure, choose joy, because joy is a decision. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't cry. Yes, if something happens that's painful, you can cry. It's okay. But even in your tears, be able to ask yourself, what can I be grateful for? What do I have right now that others don't have? You know, for me, I live in Nigeria, like I shared in my introductory video, and there are so many things that's a luxury. Lights, water, it's a luxury because you don't have it every day. And I'm grateful that God has allowed my husband and I to live in a place where we have solar. So we have light 24/7 and we have a well. So we have water, but that's not the majority of people's lives here. We gotta be grateful for what we have. Even with the people that may annoy you or irritate you, some people wish they had someone to talk to. Be grateful. Find joy in every situation. Okay. We should ask ourselves, what can I learn from this situation, right? So do that in every situation. You know, the truth is, others may have shaped who you've become, but they don't have to determine where you're going. Today can be day one of you taking back your life. Make the decision to discipline your mind to only accept thoughts that you desire for yourself. If they align with who you want to be, embrace it. If it doesn't, reject it. I hope that this video helped you, and if so, please share your thoughts in the comments. I'm rooting for you, and I hope you're rooting for me as well. Until next time, remember, you are loved, you are seen, you are important.